And we're going to have an announcement on the World Health Organization sometime next week. As you know, we give them approximately $500 million a year. And we're going to be talking about that subject next week. We'll have a lot to say about it. We'll talk about the WHO next week in great detail. I didn't want to do it today, Good Friday. I didn't want to do it before Easter. I also didn't want to do it before we have all the facts. But over the years, many years, we've been paying them from 300 to 500 and even more $1 million a year. China's been paying them less than 40 over the years. So we're paying them more than 10 times more than China. And they are very, very China-centric, as I said during the week, China-centric. China always seems to get the better of the argument. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think it's fair to the American people. And, you know, I tell that to President Xi. I tell that to Dr. Tedros. I spoke to him one time. I think he's a very nice man. I liked him. But we're going to be talking about that next week in great detail. We're looking at it very, very closely. We want to make sure money is properly spent. But again, why is the United States paying $500 million a year? It's a lot. And why is, okay, that's a lot. And why is China paying this year, $42 million, but generally under 40, so it's in the 30s. So we're at 500, 452, 400, 401, different amounts, different years. And they're at 40, 38, 36, 35, 32, 31. No, but you have to ask yourself that question. And then the answer always turns out to be in China's favor. Well, I have the same thing with the world trade. Isn't it interesting? World trade. So we have World Health and we have World Trade. So we have the World Trade Organization. And until I came along, we were losing cases, so many cases, it was ridiculous. We were always losing these cases, I mean, almost every case. And now we're winning cases. We just won $7 billion because they know I'm not going to put up with it. China has been unbelievably taken advantage of us and other countries. You know, for instance, they're considered a developing nation. I said, well, then make us a developing nation, too. They get big advantages because they're a developing nation. India, a developing nation. The United States is the big developed nation. Well, we have plenty of development to do, okay? And now we're winning cases because they know that if we're not treated fairly, I'm going to pull out. Now, you never heard this before because nobody ever talked about the World Trade Organization, but the World Trade Organization has treated us very unfairly. But they know I'm not going to put up with it because all of these countries are taking advantage of the United States. Now, in the courts and the court system, we're not approving new judges over the last year and a half. We're not going to approve them. And Bob Lighthizer is working very hard on that. But we had always a minority position, meaning numbers of judges. So we'd have a minority number of judges. I said, how do you win with a minority number of judges? But all of a sudden, we're winning. And the reason we're winning is they know if they don't treat us properly, and we won $7 billion just this very recently, and the money is pouring in. And we've won other cases, too. We've won a lot of cases. But you know from covering it, I know you know, that the United States was taken advantage of by the World Trade Organization. And by the way, speaking of China, if you look at the history of China, it was only since they went into the World Trade Organization that they became a rocket ship with their economy. They were flatlined for years and years, frankly, for many, many decades. And it was only when they came into the World Trade Organization that they became a rocket ship because they took advantage of all the rules. I'm not even blaming them. I'm saying how stupid were the people that stood here and allowed it to happen. But we don't allow that to happen. And if they don't treat us fairly, we'll leave. But now we're starting to win cases.